Hello and welcome to the Box Score Breakdown. I'm your host, William Harris, aka William is Bill. Great to be back with you guys for another great episode of the Box Score Breakdown. We are recording for Monday. We had a great 10-game slate of basketball. A lot was going down tonight. You can call it fight night if you want to. A lot of teams got heated. There was a lot of ejections. Good stuff. Punches thrown. A real fight, not a hold me back moment. So we had a lot going on today. Let's get straight to it like it's nothing to it. All right. And speaking of that, this is the game where it all went down. The Pistons against the Charlotte Hornets. The Pistons won 110 to 104. Should I go into the stats first or the fight first? Well, Musa Diabate and Jalen Duren were getting into it for quite a bit of the game, and they finally just blew up. Jalen Duren put a hand to the face of Musa Diabate. He did not like that. He went off. He was inconsolable, trying to get after Jalen Duren. Then Miles Bridges came in. He didn't like that Jalen Duren did that. Took a swing swipe at Jalen Duren, and you know who didn't like that? Isaiah Stewart, Beef Stew, came off the bench in his warm-ups after Miles Bridges. They kind of got wrapped up. It was a big ordeal, and they both were going crazy, and it was just pandemonium. So those four got ejected. Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart, ejected. Miles Bridges, Musa Diabate, ejected. There are going to be suspensions everywhere. I think Isaiah Stewart should be suspended for the rest of the year. He is doing something like this every year, sometimes multiple times a year, and it's not just normal incidents and altercation. He is going to hurt someone. He has no thought of, maybe I shouldn't do this. Something bad could happen to me. I could lose money. I can lose games. He's just like, something crazy happened. I'm going to go fight. Something crazy happened. I'm going to go fight. You disrespected my guy. I'm going to go fight. Something's got to be done about that. Like, everyone loves a little beef, a little, controversy, tangled up, hold me back moments. But Isaiah Stewart needs to really understand he cannot be doing this and flying off the bench in warm-ups. That's just insane. That's close to Malice at the Palace type of stuff right there. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure the Hornets guys will get a few games. Same with Duren, but Isaiah Stewart should get the heavy hand of the law. We'll see. But for our stats, Tobias Harris had 11 and 5 with the steal and the block. Duncan Robinson, 18 points, and he wanted none of the drama. He saw the commotion going on. He was just like, are we serious, guys? But 18 points, 4 assists for Duncan. Jalen Duren, before he was ejected, 15 and 5 and a steal. Cade Cunningham had an all-star game, 33 points, 9 boards, 7 assists, and a steal. And he's frustrated with this team when it comes to the drama. Ausar Thompson, 6 and 8 with 2 steals. Off the bench, only Paul Reed really stepped up, and that was because of the ejections. He had 12 points, 2 steals, and a block. So if you're looking to add someone, Paul Reed would be the guy, because there will be no Duren or Isaiah Stewart next game, and they have no other bigs. So add Paul Reed. Ausar Thompson will probably have a much better game as well, because he's going to be needed for the rebounds. For the Hornets, Miles Bridges, before he was ejected, 6 points and 4 boards. Musa Diabate didn't get to do anything but have 6 boards. Brandon Miller, 24 points, 3 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals and a block. Nice game. LaMelo, 20 points, 4 boards, 4 assists. Want those assists up, but it is what it is. The Hornets had won 9 games in a row. So that was the first time in 26 years that had happened. And, this altercation kind of threw things off. Hopefully they'll get it back together next game. Con Knipple with 20 and 5 with the block. Grant Williams with 12 and 5 with a steal and a block. Now, like I said, Musa will not be there and Miles will not be there next game. So Grant Williams did a solid job off the bench. Kalkbrenner should get more minutes. And I mean, really, there's no one else unless they bring up the rookie that's in the G League. Can't even think of his name right now. But they possibly could do that. And I was going to tell you something else about the Hornets. As we know, Kobe White's not there yet, but no other news really. But Grant Williams and Kalkbrenner should be added for this next game at least. Just crazy game. Next game, the Nets defeated the Chicago Bulls 123-115. Isaac Okoro, 10 points, 4 boards, 4 assists, and 4 steals. If he can put up steal numbers like that, possibly blocks, he's going to be valuable, but he normally does not do that. Matas Buzelis, 18 points, 4 boards, 4 blocks. Nice. Simon started again, 23 points, 7 assists, 5 turnovers, unfortunately, but also a block. Jaden Ivey, 13 points, 6 boards, 3 steals, and a block. Now, this is still without Josh Giddey. So people are wondering to see if Simons or Ivey, which one will go to the bench. But until Giddey is back, they both are lock and load, ready to go for you. Off the bench, Nick Richards, the backup center who they just acquired. Last game, he had a impressive game. Tonight, 12 points, 6 boards, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Another impressive game. And he outperformed Gershon Yabusele, who did start. And as you notice, I didn't mention his name because he didn't do anything in 22 minutes. Nick Richards played more minutes off the bench, was 4 times better than Gershon Yabusele tonight. So it's possible Nick Richards could possibly be the starting center for the Bulls the next game. There was no Jalen Smith in this game, though, so just remember that. But Nick Richards is playing very well for the Bulls, so we'll see what happens. Colin Sexton, first game with the Bulls, 21 points, 5 boards, and a steal. You know, he's instant offense. And Rob Dillingham, 8 and 7. Good to see him getting minutes. He also had 2 steals. For the Nets, Noah Clowney, 22 and 6 with the block. He just needs to be more consistent. He is far from that. Danny Wolf, 13 and 6 with 2 steals and 3 blocks. Nick Claxton with a huge game, 28 and 10 with a steal. Another inconsistent player. Next game, he'll have something like 10 and 6, basically. Like Nick Claxton, have a happy medium. If you get average 16 and 8 a game and just do it every game in a block, we would love it. But it's been way too hit or miss this year. Nolan Traore, 13 points, 13 assists. You got to love that. And a steal and a block. There was no Yegor Joman, so that helped him in that area. But 13 and 13 is incredible. So if he's available, especially if Yegor Joman does not play the next game, you should be able to get some assists out of Nolan Traore. Zaire Williams had 11 and 5 off the bench with 2 steals. And Drake Powell with 14 and 5. Next game, we had the Utah Jazz defeat the Miami Heat, 115-111. And the Jazz are openly tanking. Jaren Jackson, Lauri Markkanen, they tried to limit their minutes down the stretch. They still ended up winning, but they may be fined or get in trouble if they keep playing like this. But Lauri Markkanen, 17 and 8. Jaren Jackson Jr., 22 and 5 with 2 steals. Yusuf Nurkic, 10 and 16 with a block. Isaiah Collier, 13 with 9 assists and 2 steals. Ace Bailey, 16 and 8 with a steal. Keontae George did not play. He's still banged up. But Kyle Filipowski, 16 and 11 with 2 steals off the bench. Really nice game. And Bryce Sensabaugh with 14 points, 4 boards, 2 assists off the bench. For the Miami Heat, Andrew Wiggins, huge game, 26 and 5 with the block. Bam Adebayo, 23 and 11 with 5 assists. No blocks, unfortunately, but really nice game. Khalil Ware started alongside Bam. That is not something you see every day. 8 and 6 with a steal, but he only played 14 minutes. I didn't see if he got banged up, but that's a weird predicament. He normally never starts. So to finally start and get 14 minutes, that would be weird, but we'll see. Jaime Jaquez, 9 and 4 with 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. good all-around production. And Kasper Yakashonis, the rookie, 20 points, 3 boards, 1 assist off the bench. I would love to see him play more, but the Heat don't feel the need to yet. Next game, the Magic defeated the Bucks 118-99. Kyle Kuzma started, did nothing. You could say he was a negative because he was minus 13. 3 points, 5 boards, 5 turnovers, and a steal. That's just horrible by Kuzma in 18 minutes. You got to do better than that. Miles Turner, 13-6 with 5 blocks. That's what you got to see from Miles. If he's not going to get you points and rebounds, you're hoping for blocks, and he provided that today. 5 blocks. The team had 6. He had 5 of them, so that shows you what he's there for. Kevin Porter Jr. with 28 points, 4 boards, 7 assists, and a steal. And he is a top 30 fantasy performer this year, guys. A lot of people are not familiar with that, not aware of that. The Bucks are not good. Kevin Porter's been banged up a lot, but when he plays, he's putting up tremendous numbers, and people are not noticing it. You're not hearing that on any other podcast as well. This is the Box Score Breakdown. I am at William is Bill, and I'm going to give Kevin Porter some love because last I checked, he was ranked 25th or 26th in 9-cat fantasy. He can do this every night. He's the leading scorer by far tonight. No other player was in the 20s. He had 28, 7 assists, 4 boards, and a steal. And if there's no Giannis, Kevin Porter Jr. will be the number 1 guy on this team the rest of the season. So if there's a way you can get him, you probably should. A lot of people were thinking sell high, but you got to remember this could be silly season, and Kevin Porter Jr. is going to take full advantage. They did recently acquire Cam Thomas, who was released by the Nets. So that's scaring a lot of people. It's like, oh, is that going to hurt Ryan Rollins? Is it going to hurt AJ Green? Is it going to hurt Kevin Porter Jr.? It may hurt Ryan Rollins. It's not going to hurt Kevin Porter Jr. So I'll get to Cam in a minute, but let's go to AJ Green, 15-6 with the assist. Ryan Rollins, 14 points, 6 boards, 6 turnovers, unfortunately, and 2 steals. Now, this was the first game for Cam Thomas. He only played 13 minutes. Had 4 points, not much else. So we can either guess he's going to stay in a bench role because Ryan Rollins did play well, or he's going to cut into Ryan Rollins' minutes. So we will see. Bobby Portis had 10 points and nothing else off the bench as well. And I do want to mention they have Ousmane Dieng, who was acquired originally from the Thunder. He was traded 3 times or whatever. But I think he's a guy that should get minutes the second half of the season. He's the most talented. He's probably the most talented bench player they have. I don't know if they know it yet. But if they're not playing for anything, Jericho Sims, Ousmane Dieng, he was the 10th pick in the draft. Really talented young prospect. He just needs minutes. Now for the Orlando Magic, Paolo had a bad game, but they still won. 11 points, 9 boards. That's not normal at all for him. Wendell Carter Jr., a bad game. 4 points, 8 boards, 2 steals. But Desmond Bane, 25 points, 3 boards. And Anthony Black, 26 points, 5 boards, 2 steals, and a block. Jalen Suggs, 7 points, 10 assists, and a block. Mo Wagner, 14 points, 2 steals. Franz Wagner, 14 points, 5 assists. So Franz came off the bench. They are easing him back in. Played 17 minutes. Played tremendous in 17 minutes. So next game, expect him to get a little more minutes and possibly start. We will see how that goes. Next game, the Timberwolves blew out the Hawks 138-116, and you will see why when I tell you how 2 of their starters combined for 5 points. Not good. But Onyeka Okongwu, 14 points, 5 boards, and a steal. Asa Newell got the start. Their rookie, very talented, but he wasn't ready for it. 2 points, 4 boards. And Zachary Ricochet, the rookie the year before, first pick in the draft, 3 points, 4 boards, 2 steals on 1 of 9 shooting. Zachary Ricochet can do much better than that. He should not have been the first pick in the draft. That's a given. We all know this. I knew this at the time. Most people knew it at the time. But he's not this bad. So he's going to have to step it up, or it's not going to be pretty. Now, CJ McCollum showed up, 38 points, 4 steals. Great game. He's going to bring veteran leadership. He needs to talk with Zachary for sure. Nikhil Alexander-Walker, 23 and 12 with 5 assists and 2 steals. Corey Kispert with 12 and 7 with 4 assists and a block. Jacques Landale, another solid game, 12 and 6. And I have to mention Dyson Daniels was a DNP, but I have to mention Mohamed Gay, the center, off the bench in 20 minutes, had 10 and 7. But speaking of fight night, which tonight was, he got in the altercation with Naz Reid from the Minnesota Timberwolves. It was kind of like a accidental tripping, I believe. And Naz Reid went down. He got up, got in Mohamed Gay's face. Mohamed Gay got in his face. A lot of holding, pulling. Then Naz Reid tried to pull him down to the ground and wrestle him. And it wasn't happening. It was just a big mess. They both were ejected. It was a mess. But it wasn't as rowdy as the Hornets and Pistons game. But this was, dramatic. But I'll mention Naz Reid, who came off the bench. 7.6 boards, 2 steals, and a block. But for the starters, Julius Randle, 18, 12, and 10 with 2 steals, a triple-double. I think in fantasy you should get bonus points for having a triple-double. You should get something for that. Jaden McDaniels, 18 and 5 with 4 blocks. Rudy Gobert, 18 and 6 with a block. Nate DiVincenzo, 10 and 6 assists with 2 steals. Anthony Edwards, 30 points, 6 and 6 with 2 steals and a block. Ayo Dosunmu off the bench, 21 points. Not much else, but he had a steal and a block. Good performance. Bones Highland, 13 and 5 assists. Now, they required Mike Conley back. He's not listed with the team today, but I'm sure he will be back, maybe picking up some minutes in the future. If you're not familiar, you're listening to the Box Score Breakdown. You might be listening to us on the NBA Fantasy Today podcast. Don't worry, Doc and Brew will be back with the fantasy news, insight, all that good stuff right after this one. So stay tuned. If you're enjoying the Box Score Breakdown, make sure you subscribe on your podcast stations, YouTube, X, all that good stuff with Sports Ethos. And let's get back to the next game. The Pelicans defeated the Kings 120-94. For the Kings, Maxime Renaud, 21 and 19. That is a tremendous game right there. DeMontis Sabonis did not play, but he has not played a lot, and Maxime Renaud has not put up numbers like this. So I don't know if something clicked or the Pelicans just missed a lot of shots, including his own team missed a lot of shots. But 21 and 19 is very impressive for Maxime Renaud. Russell Westbrook, 17 points, not much else. DeRozan, 8 points, not much else. Nick Clifford, after a big game last game, 10, 5, and 6 with the steal. And Devin Carter had 12 points, 4 assists off the bench. I'll mention Dylan Cardwell had 6 points, 11 boards, 2 steals, 2 blocks. So those stocks are coming in handy for Dylan Cardwell. For the Pelicans, Herb Jones, 8 points, 6 assists, and a block. Zion, 18, 5, and 6 with the steal. Trey Murphy, 21 and 7 assists with the steal. Derek Queen, 8 points, 5 boards, 3 steals, and a block. Sadiq Bey had a huge game last game, 12 points, 4 boards tonight. Carlo Matkovich, 12 and 9. And Jeremiah Fears finally had a good game, 20 points, 4 boards, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Love those stats right there. Yves Missy has been playing a lot here and there. 22 minutes tonight at 7 and 5 with the block. Next game, the Cavs defeated the Nuggets 119-117. Jared Allen, 22 and 13. James Harden, that's right, for the Cavs, James Harden, 22 and 10 with 7 assists and 3 blocks. Donovan Mitchell, 32 points, 10 assists, and 2 steals and 2 blocks. So Harden had 10 boards, Mitchell 10 assists. The chemistry is there. Sam Merrill started, made 3 threes. Jalen Tyson, 16 points, 3 boards. No production off the bench thus far. For the Nuggets, who were defeated, Cam Johnson, 10 points, 3 steals. Jokic, 22, 14, 11, and 2 steals. Triple-double alert. Jamal Murray, 17 and 11 assists, 8 boards, and a steal. Awesome game. Christian Brown and Julian Strawther both had 20 points. Both similar in rebounds, 5 and 6. Nice performance. This is what I expected from Julian Strawther like a year ago, and it just never happened. It's finally happening for Julian Strawther. So if you need points and boards and threes, he's someone you can look into. JV had 12, and Tim Hardaway had 12 as well. Next game, the Golden State Warriors defeated the Memphis Grizzlies 114-113. For the Grizzlies, Cedric Coward started, played 12 minutes. I'm sure he got banged up. There's no reason he would play 12 minutes. Had 2 points, so look out for that. Gigi Jackson played 23 minutes, only had 6 points and a steal. Jalen Wells, 10 points. Ty Jerome, 19.7 assists and 2 steals. So if you look at their starters' stats, it was not it did not look good at all. Let's just put it like that. And you can see why they lost. I don't know how it was this close. But, well, I know the Warriors are missing guys too. But Taylor Hendricks off the bench. Finally a good game. And this is one of his first games with the Grizz. So maybe the Jazz weren't using him right. 15 and 10 with 3 steals. Nice to see. KCP had 15 as well. Scottie Pippen had 11 and 4 steals. And I want to mention Jameer Mashack. The rookie had 17 points, 2 boards, 2 steals. His second really good game in a row. Jameer Mashack deserves more minutes, and especially if Cedric Coward is banged up, he may get more minutes. He's a guard, but he can play multiple positions. 8 for 10 from the field. That's not going to happen every game, but like I said, that's 2 really good games in a row for Jameer Mashack. Pay attention. Javon Small, 20 minutes, 8 points, 2 steals. Walter Clayton Jr. was a DNP. I don't know why. That is very weird. A lot of people were excited to see Walter Clayton come into this role, possibly start, especially with no Ja. He's a DNP, so that's not good. But it is good for Jameer Mashack. Or Jameer Mashack. For the Golden State Warriors, Draymond, 14 points, 2 steals, 4 boards. Gui Santos, 16 and 8 with the steal. Melton started, 10 points, 3 boards, 2 assists. Moses Moody, 15 points, 2 steals, and a block. Pat Spencer, 17 points, 7 boards. 17 and 7. The 7 were assists and 2 steals. Al Horford, 16 and 9 with 6 assists off the bench and a steal. Really great game by Horford. Podziemski, 16 points, 4 boards, 5 assists, and a steal. Will Richard didn't do much in his 15 minutes. Next game, the Trailblazers blew out the Pistons 135-118. For Philly, Trendon Watford, 12 points. Drummond, 11 points and 2 blocks with also 7 boards. Kelly Oubre, 19 points, 4 steals and 2 blocks. Maxey, 30 points, 4 assists and a steal. VJ Edgecombe, 11 and 6 with 2 blocks. Off the bench, Marjon Beauchamp, who has been killing it in the G League, 10 points, 3 steals, 4 boards, 4 assists. That's really good production in 20 minutes. Justin Edwards is back, 12 points, 4 boards, 3 steals. That's all that's worth mentioning. For the Portland Trail Blazers, Jeremy Grant, 15 points and a steal. Tumani, 30 points for Tumani Kamara. 3 steals, 3 boards. Nice. Denny Advia, 26 and 10 with 8 assists and 2 steals and a block. All around tremendous game. 50% from the field as well. Great game by Advia. That's why he's an all-star. Donovan Clingan, 15 and 7 with 4 blocks. Love that. Drew Holiday, 13, 7 and 7. Off the bench, Scoot Henderson. If you didn't hear it, he's back. This was his second game back. 12 points, 6 assists, and 20 minutes off the bench. That is great production. Robert Williams had 8 and 6 with the block. just about everybody played on the Blazers. There was a lot of players suiting up. And for the last and final game, there's like 12 seconds left. We'll see if it ends while I'm on the pod with you guys. 119 to 110 right now for OKC, and it just ended. So Isaiah Hartenstein, 10 points, 9 boards, 6 assists, and 3 steals. Great game. Chet, the new All-Star, 13 and 10 with a steal and 2 blocks. Lou Dort, a steal and a block. Jalen Williams, 23 points, 3 boards. Nice game. Casey Wallace, 12 points, 6 assists, 4 boards, 2 steals and a block. Jalen Williams. So the other Jalen Williams is back as well. That's good to know. The guard had 23 points. The big had 11 points, 3 boards, 2 assists. So you just are happy Jalen Williams can come in, can not get hurt, and perform well. Shot 11 for 13 from the free throw, 6 for 17 from field goal. And basically, one of these guys needs to change their name. Can't have 2 guys on the same team with the same name. Alex Caruso had 17 and a steal. Isaiah Joe, 19 and 2 steals. Jared McCain, 7 points, 3 boards off the bench. For the Lakers, LeBron, 22, 10 assists, 6 boards, and a steal. And he had a monster jam coming down the lane. He just never ages. Rui had 12 and 5. Jake LaRavia, 14 and 4 with the steal and a block. DeAndre Ayton, 6 and 10. I'm waiting for the block numbers, Ayton. They're not there. Marcus Smart, 19 points, 3 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Great all-around game by Marcus Smart. Jackson Hayes had 12 and 4 off the bench, and Austin Reeves has 16 and 7 assists off the bench. Now let's go into the players of the night on this huge 10-game slate. Cade Cunningham, 33 and 9 with 7 assists. Brandon Miller, 24. LeBron, 22, 6 and 10. Anthony Simons, 23 and 7. Nick Claxton, 28 and 10. Kyle Filipowski, 16 and 11. Bam Adebayo, 23 points, 11 boards. KPJ, 28 and 7. Anthony Black, 26. CJ McCollum, 38 and 4 steals. Anthony Edwards, 30 and 6 with 6. Maxime Reynaud, 21 and 19. Trey Murphy, 21 and 7 assists. Donovan Mitchell, 32 and 10. Jokic, 22, 14 and 11. Ty Jerome, 19 and 7. Al Horford, 16, 9 and 6. LeBron, I said LeBron, didn't I? 22, 6 and 10. And Maxey with 30 points. Advio, 26, 10 and 8. So, like I said, incredible night of basketball. Like I said, we are recording live on SportsEthos, YouTube, Ethos Fantasy NBA, at SportsEthos. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on X. We have some questions because we record live most of the time. We're live right now. Got a question from Kanahaz. I'm sorry if I said that wrong, but it's still a shout out to you for listening and watching. He wants an opinion on Kyrie. I haven't checked lately on Kyrie, but it's looking like he won't be a factor this year. They traded AD and didn't get anything really to help them win this year. It doesn't help them in any way to win this year. They're going for a draft pick for sure. And if he comes back, he's still got a huge ramp up that he would need to get to. It's just no need to go all out on Kyrie this year. I think next year he'll be a great option. I think you may see Kyrie a little bit this year, but in some situations, the playoffs are about to start the next week or two. So I don't think you are going to see much unless we get some type of miraculous update. It's been pretty quiet on Kyrie, and there's no need, the way the direction of the team's going, for them to play him, at least not minutes that he is used to. You know what I mean? But love him as a player, but next year, and I think the Mavs will probably trade him too next year, so he'll be on the team that's ready to win next year. Question from Matt Carmody. Matt Carmody, I like that. I won't say the number if you don't. You might not want everybody following you on Twitter. I don't know. You let me know. But Matt asked, who would you prefer between Taylor Hendricks and Tristan Vukcevic in a non-cat head-to-head league? That is a good question. Both are backups right now. I would have to go with Taylor Hendricks right now because he's on the Grizz, and the Grizz are the kings of silly season. Last year, I believe, it could have been the year before, Gigi Jackson went off for the Grizz down the end of the stretch. Taylor Hendricks has that same opportunity. No Jaren Jackson Jr. there. Zach Edey's not going to be there. It's a wide open path for Hendricks to be guaranteed 20 minutes. And he could possibly get more if Santi Aldama, I don't think he played tonight, but they ought to play Taylor Hendricks to see what they can get from him. The Wizards have had Vucevic for years, and they've had their opportunity to play him, and it seems like they don't want to play him. They never have. But Bagley is gone, so that helps. So it depends on Sarr's health. It's tricky, but just in my opinion, Hendricks has that's a good question, Matt Carmody. I like Hendricks as a better prospect, and I like his opportunity in Memphis. I think it could be very close, though. So I don't think you're necessarily going to go wrong either way. I haven't seen Sarr's health recently. So if Sarr's banged up, I have no problem with you going with Vucevic. But I think Hendricks can do some good numbers as well. Great questions, guys. That is not a question you're going to see in most places, Hendricks or Vucevic. That's about as even as you can go, 51-49 type of situation. All right, my guy Admiral Nita has a question. Better stash, Edey or Tatum for final IR spot in a 10-cat league? Okay, that's a great question. Tatum has bounced back and forth between is he coming back, is he not? Originally, he's out for the year. Then he said, I'm coming back. I'm planning on coming back. I don't know if you heard this recently, but he said either he or the team said, not so fast. He's probably not coming back. So it's looking doubtful. People are holding out hope, but it's looking doubtful. I know Edey was out 4 to 6 weeks. I don't know the exact amount of time he's been out right now. Keep an eye out on that. But I would think Edey would be back before Tatum and has a better chance to be back before Tatum, period. So if it's not Dynasty, Zach Edey is probably coming back. I don't think Tatum is coming back. And if he does, it'll be when the fantasy season is over, for the playoffs type of situation. And Matt said, thanks. Thank you for your questions. Thank you, Admiral Nita. Thank you, Canehez. You're going to have to tell me how to say that one day. But I appreciate you guys so much for listening and watching to the Box Score Breakdown presented to you by FanDuel. I love your questions and interactions. If you want to talk to me more, I'm on Twitter at WilliamIsBill. Follow us at SportsEthos and at Ethos Fantasy NBA. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And Admiral Nita says, thanks. Thank you, brother. Until next time, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.